Hi, my name is Spencer Brown, and today we're going to be talking about writing. So writing is basically the act of taking your voice and your thoughts and putting it into words. These words are put into sentences, and those sentences make up paragraphs. Now the structure of your paragraphs go into an essay. So the basic form of an essay that we're going to be talking about today is the 5-paragraph essay. So the parts of the essay are the introduction, 3 main parts, and conclusion. The intro is the beginning part, and it's supposed to introduce the topic that you're talking about, whether it's an argumentative essay or a persuasive essay or an informational essay. It's supposed to introduce that and say what you're going to be talking about. And it does that through using a thesis. The thesis statement comes at the end of the introduction, and it's arguably the most important part of the essay. So the introduction is followed by 3 main body paragraphs. The 3 main body paragraphs are all the evidence that you're supposed to be using to support the claims that you're making in your introduction. And the important thing about the 3 main body paragraphs is that they connect with one another. They follow each other sequentially, and they use sentences, concluding sentences, that bring paragraph 1 into paragraph 2, and paragraph 2 into paragraph 3. This is very important because you want to leave the reader with the feeling that you have a cohesive message and that you're not all over the place with the words that you're saying and the thoughts that you're bringing in. Because after all, you want your voice to come through with your essay, but you want it to come through academically and professionally. And this is all summed up in the concluding paragraph, which starts off by restating the thesis and then going back to a conclusion. The conclusion is supposed to be a general thought-provoking statement that leaves the reader thinking, wow, I want to learn more about the topic that I just read about. It's supposed to conclude everything that you said before while also leaving the reader with a general thought. Now, there's 2 types of thesis statements that you can go about using. The first type is basic, and the second is more specialized. So the basic type is just by listing out all 3 main body paragraph topics. You do this by saying point 1, point 2, and point 3 sequentially as to not confuse the reader. And then the second form of thesis statement that you can use is more difficult to use and more eye-opening. And you do this by encompassing all 3 into one thought-provoking statement about values or anything that encompasses all 3 types of paragraphs. And this will be thought of by the reader throughout the entire essay while they're thinking and reading and going through your informational text. So the informational text that we're talking about is something that's meant to inform the reader, not persuade them, not argue something. It's not a rhetorical essay. It is an informational text. And the thing that differentiates an informational text from other types of essays is the evidence that you use. So what you do is when you start out your essay, you draw in the reader, but you don't use it using subjectivity, you use it by using evidence. So you have statistics on the pro side and on the con side, and you show no bias in the way that you present this evidence, but you just present them as facts, as the way they are. And in that way, and in that use, you are able to attract the reader through the rest of your essay and eventually leave them at the end with this concluding statement that will leave them wanting to know more about what you've been talking about. So that's what differentiates an informational text from other types of essays, because it uses that type of evidence. So basically today, what we've gone through is the form of a 5-paragraph essay. It started out very generally with the introduction, and then it worked its way to specifics with the thesis. Then we had 3 points, and then we got specific again by restating the thesis, and then we finished with a general eye-opening statement at the end of the conclusion. So you could say we went general to specific, point, specific to general. Once again, everybody, general to specific, point, specific to general. So every time you sit down and you have to write an essay at home, in school, the best way that you can do this is by thinking about being general to specific, point, specific to general. Thank you.